Okay, call order 5:30, review of the library exits. That door, we have a badge hanging on that door as well, preferably out this way, down the stairs and out the building. Comments or questions from the public not related to items on the agenda? There is no public present. I think Mary, any changes to the agenda? You good?
Good.
All right. Additions or deletions, or I'm gonna make one change to the agenda. I have a friend flying in on the flight from Philadelphia that's arriving at 5:46. So I will probably be handing over the chair of responsibilities to Ann in about 20 minutes. So I would like to move the strategic plan up to after my chair remarks. So we can go through that. So, and then we can walk through the rest and I'll stay as long as I can. Any other changes, additions, or deletions?
To just add stipends and committee status,
Okay,
because something has come up about that for the board.
we could do that maybe right after my strategic plan. And if we can get to it with me here, that would be
Yeah,
great. Okay.
and your new appointments will be announced at the Monday city council meeting.
So,
Mhm.
there she is. All right. Approval of the minutes from, again, you want to change this date, should be April 14th, 2006, trustees meeting. I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
I will move to approve it. Was it the second time?
Thank you, Holly. Any discussion on the minutes? They always look great. Thank you very much. So I'll call the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Seeing no opposed, motion passes. Welcome to Chair Marks. Again, good to see everyone. Hot day out there, so hopefully it's nice to be in an office for a change and stay cool. A lot going on. So first I want to say, Marjorie, thank you for your time on the board. Marjorie, this would be her last formal meeting on the board. So she did not re-up for this year, but we thank you for how many years was it total? Six years on the board. So
Oh, wow.
so we will be celebrating this hard to come as a public at the next meeting, because I wanted to know what the final board look like. Once I hear from Monday what the council looks like. I don't think there's gonna be any more changes because Stacy has agreed and has agreed as well, but there will be two other board members.
What's that do?
So I wanted to be sure, but Lauren has asked, I've asked her to come back so we can have celebration.
You can make comments at the next.
So,
Work with the governance committee. That's it.
I do like, I do want to say it has been such a joy. So it's not an easy decision to make, because I do love working with you on so much. It's been a real pleasure and it's, an absolute best experience.
Great.
You could be a friend then.
Yeah.
And there's always a celebration out there.
It's the pipeline.
Yes, right.
The next thing which segues into the discussion on strategic plan, the goal again, I think we talked about this, would be to try and get something for September. As we roll it out, and then I want to get some time with the council to kind of work through that. So let me go into the next agenda then, is review this. So on the attached to the agenda was a document that said strategic vision at the top. So I did take some initial liberties here to kind of draft a structure of a document. So this is very much open for editing, changes, format. We can discuss a little bit here, or if you want to take some time, we can put that as a majority of our item on July. So what I tried to lay out was a bulleted statement or a single line sentence at the top as to what the strategic vision is for the library. So I drafted the South Burlington Public Library will serve as a welcoming civic space that strengthens community connections, advances equitable access to knowledge and opportunities, supports residents across all ages, and responds proactively to evolving social, educational, and community needs. That's a starting point for this. I am very much welcoming edits to this. There's nothing at all. This is just to try and capture the broader idea. Underneath that, I've put 6 strategic priorities, and these were based off the rankings that you did in those individual ideas. So if we look at it, was library space, youth engagement, support for residents in need, staff leadership, responding to social service needs, and marketing communication and community visibility. Those were the 6. I welcome consolidation. I welcome other ideas on that. Those were the 6. When we pull it all together, we had 25 great ideas. Can't put them all in. We can figure out ways to put them in and kind of go from there, but these are the 6 main themes. Second thing is this, I did look at the current strategic plan, which is a 1-page strategic plan, and I did look at the city plan. So I tried to cross-reference the city plan to make sure we're tying key points of the city plan and also key points of what we did before. It is a little more expansive probably than what we had before. I welcome comments on that. Is it too big, too long? Do we need to condense it? We can work through that over the next several months. And underneath each one of those, it's kind of what's the idea behind each one of these things? What's the goal? And then there's 3 blank spaces of what's the strategic objective, the key initiatives, and the measures of success. So typically in my dealings with strategic plans, you kind of lay out what are your key couple bullets under this? What are the key things we're going to do? So it's actions and then it's measures. So we've gotten all the data from Breeze. There's data out there. There's other data points we can do that are more, maybe not as quantitative, that are more softer data points on community, some engagement number or whatever. So those are things we'd like to build underneath that. So one of the homeworks I asked you is, other than editing and looking at the overall take of this, start thinking, if you think that this is the right approach, what would be some of those things to add into the strategic plan? And then most of our deep dive will be trying to create. And then the themes across strategy, this I pulled a lot from the city plan and from other things to try and say, what are these overarching themes that ties everything together? Because I do, if we go in front of the council, I'm gonna be able to say to the council, this is a document that supports what you've said, while we're also thinking as an independent library board of trustees, what we see. Do we have some sort of handshake and alignment with the key themes and strategy? General comments about this.
I would say, first of all, masterful. It really is well done. I have a question since I'm new in this board. The key initiatives, is that something that you do for the first year and then you come back on an annual basis? And
So this is, I put this as a 5-year plan. So there are some things probably in there that are a little more forward looking. One way I've seen it is, what do you want to do in the first year or 2? What do you want to do in year 3 and 4 or year 5 plus? That's going to create this document to be a pretty lengthy document. We could go that approach, because I think that's always very helpful to kind of lay out the map. I'm also content saying in the 5 years we do this, and every year we're looking at it and we can decide maybe the ones we're working, because we can't do all of them at once. So if we did 3 bullets under each, let's just say that's 18 things we want to do over 5 years. When you look at 18 over 5, that's 3 to 4 a year, a little aggressive, but maybe manageable. If you start putting 4 or 5 under each of these over 6 ideas, we're talking 25, 30 ideas. That's a lot. That's a lot of ocean to drink at one gulp. So I think we want to look at a couple things and try and space it out. So it's almost, if we could look at it in those 3 buckets and add 1 per bucket, and that may be something to look at. But I don't want to lose anything. So I'm always at the first point of bring it all in. Let's look at it all, and then as we digest it, we want to make sure it fits. So does that answer your question, Mark?
yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yes.
It feels like a lot. Was there like a cutoff that you, like that came natural in the data you collected?
Yeah, when I looked at the data, it was, when you looked at the amount of votes that people got, there was almost really 2 to 3 tiers.
Yeah.
There was a tier where it was like 22 to 25 votes. And it was like 6 ideas in that. So I think that there's,
3 and 5, yeah.
That feels
Yep.
reasonable.
I was just gonna say, like, youth engagement and lifelong learning are two kind
That's
of
what I was
different
thinking,
things.
yes, yeah.
Lifelong learning,
All ages.
adult, well, it usually refers to adults, but,
So I think that those are the comments that I'm looking for. So today wasn't the day to kind of deep dive into this, because you all need to look at it and get a little more background on how I built this. So what I always try to do on these is I don't edit stuff out. I tend to put more in so we as a group can do the editing out, and yours is very fair. And I saw it and I was kind of like, these are the top 6 was as clear to you. They're in. Now we pull it out or condense and try to consolidate.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Brent.
Am I oversimplifying, but are 3 and 5 very similar points?
yes. I think someone
Yes,
in the
can you
room said that, maybe
oversimplify?
you didn't. No, someone in the room mentioned,
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, I think when you looked at our group of 25, they were similar, because we, remember, everyone started circling common
Gotcha.
themes. And like the voting, I tried to group those together, but when you did, that one kind of felt a little bit separate.
Okay,
So
that was
initially,
got it. Thank you.
yeah. I've intentionally not put it based off the priority, because sometimes I look at street, maybe 1 isn't the number, maybe it is a bullet as opposed to everyone thinking 1's the number 1. So numbering could be a simple thing, but it could give the message that we think number 1's the most important, and number 6 is the least. So we can look at that as we bring this together. Yeah.
So I was looking at the older strategic plan, the current strategic plan, and most of them say library staff will. And I'm just wondering, are these going to turn into initiatives for the staff to be working on, and what is?
So my thought is, obviously, the staff is going to have to
Right,
do a lot
Yeah.
of the direction. So this, I need a lot of comfort level from Bree that this document is an effective document for the library staff to implement, given the direction we're giving. So part of the reason I'll kind of, the one discretion I probably did editing was I changed the format from that.
right, yep.
Because I felt that it was very directed to certain people, and it felt like I was like
Mhm.
pushing it off on the library staff. This is what they have to do. I wanted to feel more we were engaging with the library
That's right.
staff, that we could figure out how we want to action verb these. Because we are gonna, and the key initiatives, we are going to put some action to that. So if we want to say it's specifically library staff or the library board and the supporting staff, it's a collective thing, we can debate and discuss that to make sure we're addressing it. So the sub things again are more strategy wise, high level, actionable, measurable is really how we want to look at it. And kind of thing.
I wasn't here when we did this the last time, but while I love hanging out with all of you, I've never found that having 12 people work on a document together at this stage is very effective. And I was wondering if it was subcommittee, an ad hoc committee or something of those who are most enthusiastic about plans, looking at some of you. Could be formed to do that.
And I think that's a great topic we discuss in July, when everyone kind of, because I want everyone to have a pointing is, this is the direction we want to go. This is not the right format of concern and all that stuff. And when we get to that, saying, hey, we're getting to the nitty-gritty, is there a sub team to do it? Because you're right. No, and I do like this group, that I do think we challenge each other, and I think we collectively think very similar in the execution side. So I want to be open in the beginning, but once we build the direction to build the meat and the real structure to it, I think we don't need, maybe we don't need 11, 12 people to do that. But I also don't want to exclude anyone who wants to be a part of it. If they do, it may be a larger group, and that's my job to kind of manage it. So.
I've, as a trustee, written several strategic plans, and as a director, you know, so this is like my 5th or 6th strategic planning session. And there's no right way to do or wrong way to do a strategic plan. When I was kind of looking at this library as a potential employee, I really appreciated the one-page structure, but I have never seen that anywhere else. So for me, it was like really unique, like these guys know what their vision is. It wasn't all over the place. It was very distilled and I appreciated that. As a newish, new director to this is nice to see like kind of a list of strategic plans. I like the document being organic or iterative, to use your engineering language, versus prescriptive, like year one, you're gonna do this, year two. And I've seen plans like that. I've written plans like that. And they're hard to implement and they're hard to get those measures of success. So, whatever format you do settle on, it is helpful to have these priorities of this group that's representative of the city, kind of guiding our work, but also then think about, okay, budgeting, is the other piece of it. So when there is an initiative that you want to see and it costs money or it costs staff time or something like that, then advocate for that to council in the budget. So.
And on that line, so for marketing communications and community visibility, are we able to put something like work more closely with A&D to do these things because he's the current, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would just put
I'm sorry.
I know, I would just put the communications city, I wouldn't put like Andy. But yes,
Title was, okay.
It's like communications director or something. We can find that out.
Okay, so that would be appropriate to
Mhm.
start with, to be something like that. Okay.
Definitely.
And also may do a larger document for us,
Mhm.
and if it's out there, and then a summary document that's kind of to the one page thing, which may be more from the communications and PR, because I don't want. It'd be tough for people in the community possibly to read a 6-page strategic plan, because if you try to read the city plan,
Oh,
the city plan would really. And that was part of the effort here, because I didn't want someone on city plan saying, on page 74 of our city plan, we say this, and you guys, I don't want to, I try not that I did that, but you have to go through a large city plan and there is a lot to do there.
They do like numbers. They do like you putting the numbers
And that
with
is
things. Yeah, so this.
I was looking at the city plan for this, and the main principle is climate resilience. And I just,
And we didn't write that, so we're going to reconcile.
yeah,
Libraries that are very
I mean,
sustainable.
sure, in the library of things, having things.
Well, we know the city council has a climate action, and I did not tie to the climate action plan either. How we do that, and whether we're writing versus sacrifice. Yeah.
I'm just like. Sustainable. Over, is it?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Portion seems to good, right?
Yeah.
So, any other questions?
Oh, I wonder if we need to go back to number 2.
Yeah.
Which was the one that was youth engagement and lifelong learning. Seems like education was something we're excited about, but those might be 2 things.
I see them as very separate.
I see them as two separate things.
I asked if those would be the edits for discussion in July. I think everyone needs some time to digest and think it together, and then we can work through
I
that.
guess my question is the group okay with possibly making the number bigger? Like if we were gonna land on 6, okay, so if we were, I think you can put 2 together and again separate. But that is something that we're open to as a concept.
Yeah, I don't want to be prescriptive on a number. I think it should naturally flow out of our discussions. The only number we went from, look at how we did this, we went from 120 ideas in the board. We funded 25, now we've gone to 6-ish, and now it's going to be. So that's the process.
But can you give the key or goals, objectives, initiatives, like how do you think about? all of it?
If you're okay with, I can give you 1 or 2 that I've come up with to kind of guide you on that. You know, I have one popular with my ideas, I cleansed it up for this because it was not money. But I can give you a little bit on each one just to kind of say what I'm thinking.
Okay, I'll be-
Okay. All right. Anything else? Yeah, I'm getting used to this Apple thing, and I gotta convert it. So.
Don't apologize. Sorry, it's my fault. I don't say so.
They did a great job on our minutes, then she noticed it's pages, so what does not go.
Yeah, see, it's interesting pages you can open up for. Okay, my French flight has landed, so.
Good job.
And hearing it's an able things
I
here.
got
If you have any other questions, feel free to send an email directly. I will try to send out an email with a couple of bullets of each, but the idea is. So.
Right, so they have fun.
All right. All right, see y'all.
So Bree, would you like to talk about the stipends now?
Yeah.
Is there director's report?
No, I'd like
Okay.
to talk about them now
Okay,
because
great.
it's a little bit separate.
Okay.
So it's come to the kind of attention of council that we meet a lot as a library board. And the stipend program that they have rolled out. Okay, so the stipend program that they have rolled out only applies to the full board meeting. The other committees that we have do not have a quorum of members. So they're more like working groups, and in other boards or departments, the working groups don't get stipends. The board meetings do, and you can get up to 2 a month. So if we were to have a meeting and then like an emergency meeting or a special meeting, you could get 2 stipends, but it's going to be when the board fully meets. And this is probably my fault, so I'm sorry for taking away any stipends that people, and if there are true hardships, please let me know and there's something for that. But I was asked that by city council in our like 8-hour van ride that we had around the city to look at infrastructure, and I was like, real tired. I wasn't thinking my council brain on, and so I was like, oh yeah, the other group, they do working groups, it's not everyone, and they're like, oh, it's not everyone, and so they found someone for them. But I think they're right. I think it's to be more equitable with, the group. Hopefully no one joined the library board to get rid of these stipends. I do think they're very generous. I think that the idea of a stipend allows you to either get a babysitter or to recoup your time or, whatever. But the secondary meetings that we have a month, the working group or the committee meetings, you guys won't be getting stipends for those.
I do have a question just because, so we have to have a quorum though with our committee meeting.
Okay, so this is the other
So
part of
that's
this.
Because I heard you say, but what is that? So we don't.
No, so,
It's in our bylaws.
so the bylaws are, so here is the suggestion, or I also said like committee status, because your working groups are working groups. They're a small subset. So none of the committees actually meet a quorum. They technically don't need to be warned. They don't have to have open meeting law or minutes. When I inherited this structure, I thought this was a South Burlington thing, and then Ted and I talked about it as well. But that it was just more for best practice. I do think best
Yeah, it
practice
is.
is important to have an agenda,
Yeah.
to have minutes, but you guys as a board, and maybe when we review bylaws, it's something you think about. If these are truly like working committees, you're presenting your work product at this meeting. So they really don't have to adhere to the full open meeting law. And I talked to Jessie about this in our one-on-one, and she was like, you can see where there would be positives for some, and it's kind of both are good, but you can't really pick and choose. It can't be like governance is gonna go by the books over here and communications is gonna have a separate set of rules and finance. It's gonna have to be like, all or nothing. We're not, yes.
Does this mean I can also email my committee with substantive things? My entire.
Yes.
And they can.
Yeah, because that's always.
Yeah.
Change the bylaws before we do that though.
I'm not familiar with your bylaws, actually, like I haven't read them through that specifically. There's no state statute, either in library law or in regular open meeting law, that says that those working committees have to be subject to open meeting law. As it is right now, like Town Meeting TV is here, but they don't, yay, hi, thank you. But they don't have to, they're not at the other ones.
Okay.
As long as those meetings do not carry budget or actionable, consequences that you
Right.
guys are voting for, like the budget or the,
Yeah, it has to come to.
everything comes here. So you are just truly a like work session.
So there's a very specific line.
Okay,
So there's a very specific line between a meeting, a city ordained approved meeting, and every other kind of meeting.
mm-hmm. And
Okay.
it has to do with quorum
Mhm.
of original members.
So can I suggest, I don't know this emotion, that we maintain what we're doing right now and then take a look and see what the bylaws say and just hang on to this for a second before we
Yes, thank you.
get all excited and.
We just can't.
I know,
All the time.
right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Whitney,
Well, I think it is still best practice to
Yeah.
put out an agenda to the
Yeah.
group and to do minutes, however that might look. They don't need to when you make this choice, and this is your choice, they don't need to go on Civic Plus. They don't need to, they should be posted like, for people's internal like a week before, but there aren't these strict, if two people show up and,
And what about public? Because we have had public come to our committee meetings before,
they don't have to be open to the
but
public.
now they. Okay.
But they can be, or they can be hybrid, so it's, there's a lot to think about. That was kind of kicked off by this discussion, of stipends, but then, kind of like, why are you warning them? That was the question I got, why are you warning them? Because you don't have a quorum present.
That's so funny because with a former city
Yeah.
manager, we
Yeah.
had some conversations about that, so.
And I thought we had a quorum to, in order to have the meeting.
They asked me for the stipends originally, and they said, do they have a quorum? I'm like, yes, they only meet if they have a quorum of that subcommittee, but it was actually for the full committee. Because you guys self-form those smaller work groups, council approves like
The trustee.
board, the trustees. So,
Do you think Anne's point about
yeah.
tell the change?
Mhm.
and also there are reasons to do different things, so.
Right, yeah, so I just wanted to bring that to you guys, that you won't be getting stipends anymore for smaller meetings, so sorry. But that your like working group or subcommittee statuses could change depending on what you want to do.
So what's Thursday?
Oh, I'm just.
This is gonna be there and say, oh, you're taking the minutes.
So,
I think you could cut and paste Holly's wonderful email and you have your minutes right there.
So until we get the full complement of the board, it's likely our meeting, we won't have a quorum because there are vacancies, so.
Correct.
With that.
We can still conduct business and
Yeah.
go about it, right?
Well, I think what I hear you saying, is we're gonna maintain morning and
Just
then
yeah,
just
just.
keep status quo until.
In theory, the meeting used to change 5 hours, so.
Right.
pretty-
That's the right thing, that's
Look
right.
at the bar. We don't need a bar. Okay.
I have looked at the Vermont
Okay,
law,
yeah.
so we're all
Right.
good, and I mean, we had like a personnel committee in Westford, and it was 2 out of the 5 board members, so it wasn't a quorum, and they never had to like warn, or
Yeah.
2 people would meet on the budget, but if 3 people were there,
Right.
then it had to be warned. You guys have the luxury of having a larger board.
But sometimes we.
We're not like Holly and Rebecca, yeah, Holly's.
Well, governance committee this July, but I'll be there, you're not on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You won't be there in June.
No, I'm
Well, we might, we
I'm not here in June.
You're not here in June and you're not here in
we
June.
have new people, new.
We won't have.
July 1st, the new people start.
So we have to decide what they mean.
And you can always do things. You can work without a quorum, you just can't agree to, like, put the.
But I don't think the quorum, if one is hearing recess, they don't need that word, I guess, or
matter.
doesn't matter. One person. From the committee, yeah.
After July.
Yes.
Oh, after.
It can change. It can change, yeah.
If we change the bylaws.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to bring that to you all, because I knew you were gonna be studying the bylaws too, which is might have been one of the reasons why I suggested we look at the bylaws.
Right.
Aren't you glad we're so excited about? Okay.
Yeah, just mention the pages.
Well, if someone was like, now I can't afford like Christmas presents for the kids, because I'm not gonna get my stipend, like that is, but Ted assured me you guys didn't have them before, that no one's getting rich off of being.
I don't know, decided to start taking minutes, but when I started as the governance committee, there were no minutes, I'm not saying no.
Yeah.
It's just exercise.
Right.
So,
I guess it was status quo. I don't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, so the shell.
Motion to chill.
Thank you.
And you will, your new trustees will start July 1st. They will be announced by city council this Monday.
Can you tell us how many?
2 new trustees. I can say that we'll see some familiar faces back here.
So a total of 4.
So a total of 4, they're having a total of 4 appointments on July 1st.
Sure.
Yes.
And so we just get to be surprised, like is that the normal?
I
Sorry,
was
there's-
told- I was told who they were, but I was told not to say.
Oh,
who
yeah,
were.
they would.
So, committee assignments. It's, it would be after July.
It will be in the July meeting, because those people will come to our. July
And that's where they-
And then we'll pitch them.
Can they wrestle for the new members?
Margie, it's not too late to reconsider.
Mary, you've been super patient. Friends as friends.
No problem. We all.
Thank you.
Issues to stuff. Okay, the month of May, we made a total of $610.33 for book sales. Shop upstairs, when we were there, made 162, and downstairs in the kiosk, they took in $448.33. So they do a wonderful job. They're helping us out. Our big focus right now is the Story Walk project. The posts are in along the shared use walking path there. And I guess you can bike it and skate it and stroller and wagon. It begins just off of Garden Street behind Healthy Living. And then you follow it down over the bridge and it'll veer off to the right toward Barrett Street. It'll take about 15 minutes to walk. And the posts are spaced along that. They're not on the bridge, but the rest of the path. So Erin, the children's librarian, is working on laying out the pages of the book to get them into the posts, and we hope to have it done by the 19th. So that's coming right up. We'll be busy next week. Our first book is Over and Under the Pond by Kate Messner. And the grand opening ceremony will be Tuesday, July the 7th at 5 o'clock, and it's combined with the opening of City Center Park. So there'll be games and prizes and food, and the friends will be giving out a free raffle. We're raffling off 4 other books by Kate Messner for kids. So we wrote an article. Sue Radikanen and I wrote the article for the other paper this month, and I think it came out today.
Yeah.
So
I shared it on our Facebook page.
Oh, good.
You wanna-
And we hope that people will enjoy it, and kids can, we'll change the book quarterly. And we were wrestling with getting the posts.
They've been
Part-
all loosened.
Good.
Silken went through and loosened them all.
Oh, bless her heart.
Well, because they were like factory type.
Yeah. So anyway, we bought a wagon to put our stuff in so we could go. Because apparently they'll plow the path even in the wintertime, so it's open year round.
Oh, nice.
That's a feature. I just sent the check off. We're all good. Yesterday morning, we gave a library staff appreciation brunch.
It was lovely.
8:30 to 10:30. And because, as you can see, they help us out a lot. And they also give us tech support and get things off the high shelf for us. They really do appreciate it. But it's really nice to sit down with them and talk to them, because when you're just interacting, for a purpose, it isn't quite the same. So it was nice to get to know people. In the bookshop, we've got a lot of nonfiction, which is usually not the case. So it's usually reversed. So, and we've been making room for new books in the library by kind of
Taking our discards.
Yes, taking the discards and finding a new home for them. I just got a check from Federal Books for $140. But that's good.
There's plenty more coming up because I spent the whole Sunday reading the history section.
Oh boy. We have a new board coming in, starting in July 1st, and I'm the president again, and Bob Withy is going to be our vice president.
He is drunk with power. He is just out of control. I had to hold him back at our cottage to keep him from being here with me.
And Sue is our secretary still, and Francis is our treasurer. And I have appointed Adam Bortz to be the chairman of our new committee for a new membership outreach. So he'll be contacting you. And also I wanted to let you know that Rita, his wife's celebration of life service is this Saturday at 10 o'clock at the Universal Unitarian Church at the end of Church Street there. So, and at the end of it, she has requested that the Ben and Jerry's truck come and everybody give an ice cream. So,
It
anyway,
was just so fun.
yes, she was a very talented, very nice woman. That's all the news that's fit.
And, yeah. And
Did you want to put that picture up?
Oh, do you guys have it?
I showed this end of the table.
Oh,
It's.
Oh, good.
it might be easier to just pass around the computer. Rather than Town Meeting TV's flooded with your grandchildren.
You can see the.
Oh, yeah.
Stop. Focus on the grandkids.
That's nice.
The 5-year-old is really tall.
Not really, I think it's the angle of the foot. My family is really tall. Well, my husband, but he's still.
Library Foundation, I will give the update for the Library Foundation. We met last Thursday and we're going to give the final installment of our fiscal year of 10,750 to the library on June 30th. And we finalized our budget for next fiscal year, and that has 32,000 for the library for all of next fiscal year. People are very generous. South Burlington was very generous place. We are, and I'm sure we will talk about this, but the foundation is paying for infrastructure changes to the hangout. The work's gonna start first. And we're gonna hope to help find a grant for ESL classes at the library.
Oh, wow.
Now, you can announce we have officers.
Oh, and we have officers. They're the same as they were. So, yes. Thank you. We do have officers, yes.
That's impressive.
Penny is better than me.
Okay, there's food out.
Thank you. And director's reports.
Okay, well, summer reading kicks off June 13th, so this Saturday. So that is the major business that's been going around here. We had our monthly staff meeting on Wednesday, and we retreated to a preview of all the fun activities for all the different levels of readers here at the library. The obviously the most engaged is the children's, lots of fun activities, as well as different logs and different bags of things, and people getting coupons from Judy's Ice Cream that's opening up, for turning in their log. Judy's Ice Cream is down a couple doors down by Blissby. Yes. Yeah, so they're giving us coupons if you complete your little coloring sheet for reading log. Yeah, you only get one. And, I don't know how to keep track of that, so maybe if you're sneaky. And we have some of the adult prizes have started to be displayed in the display case. And those are, so the adult programming is basically just kind of sign up and read what you want. There's some bingo sheets, but you get a raffle ticket for 3 different baskets or bundles for adult things. We'll also have snacks and various things for folks throughout the summer. So there's lots of kind of do what you want because you're an adult, kind of thing. And the teen program is Amanda is visiting every 9th grade English class at the high school for the next couple of days, for these last few days of school, to talk about summer reading. And a lot of Mondays there'll be some programming like Jurassic Park we're showing on because it's dinosaur themes this Monday, and some take and go, take crafts. Yeah, one is like a teeny tiny clover terrarium, and then there's like a tiny bookcase where you can craft, your own books and keep track of your reading that way. They have a couple of activities like dino nuggets and hot sauces, like different hot sauce tasting. That'll be fun. And then the children's program just has so much on it, including some visit from VINS, the Vermont Institute of Natural Sciences. Lyric Theater has a Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus performance here that's already sold out. We have an instrument petting zoo. We have lots of other activities, like really cool things. And it's just really nice that there's going to be a presence from the library at every farmer's market, every Rec on the Go, most of the nights out, thanks to you guys, but also thanks to our staff being willing to leave the building and engage with the community to do all of that. And tons of support from the friends and the foundation for financial support for all of this. So it's just, it's shaping up to be a spectacular summer. We have a 4-foot tall huggable dinosaur that we've been having an internal naming contest for. So it's, I don't even know the name. The name will be announced at the summer reading kickoff party, which is this Saturday. We have Linda Bassick, who is really popular singer, children's performer. And we have Dr. Joe Clark, the superintendent of schools, reading live with his puppet. And so, all day you can sign up and do things. So that is on Saturday. And that will continue through, I think, August 8th. We just really wrap up. We're gonna have to pretty hard wrap up in August because of the construction that's gonna be happening in the children's space. That starts August 1st. So the hangout will get its little half walls and some improvements, infrastructure there, as well as some upgrades with technology and various things. So that's exciting. And then also this weekend, we have a really, really great panel for Juneteenth. So I sent you guys information out about that. I would encourage you guys to come. I feel bad. I can't go to any of these cool things this weekend, but I will be gone and I'm going to enjoy that time as well. So yeah, I just think there's so much going on. You might also have noticed in the public library kind of world here, I had to put some signs up on the flexible seating to the teen loft, which has been used as stairs by both staff and patrons, and we had 2 workers' comp claims recently for staff using those step seating as stairs. And so if you guys are wondering who put these ugly signs up? It was me, and because I had to, from our insurance. And so, and there will also be some kind of velvet rope situation, maybe for a little bit. This is not a pass through. We can't control patron behavior as much, but staff was told they can't use those as steps anymore.
And in advance, I apologize for ever having done it.
I know, it's terrible.
Maybe, okay, once, maybe twice, tops.
Well, I have to say we had someone fall both going up and down, so it wasn't, it's not just limited to one. Yeah.
And it's just giving me PTSD from Maine. Don't go to York and try to go on Long Sands because their retaining wall is like that. And my brother has gone through so many calls as an ambulance driver and help people on that thing. So don't go there, Brenda.
Nope, I've been chastened. I will do it no longer.
And yeah, so does anyone have any kind of questions? I also brought some stats, a stat sheet to kind of show you an example, because we had talked about having that conversation. So yeah, but does anyone have any?
To send that to us?
I could. I made some copies.
There it is.
Screen was on the screen.
Right.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and so Brenda won't be able to see it but
That's okay.
yeah.
Share with Brenda.
Thank you so much.
Well, no, so this is an old, so this is what I used in Westford to talk about, but we also talked about so this is an example. Obviously there's a lot of information on here once it gets around, so I'll wait a second. But this was probably more than we need to go over. But I also took some of Anne's feedback and looked at the stuff that Sue had sent that she keeps track of. And you know, if you guys want to have a conversation. So what on this form, you know, the month, each of the months was filled in, and then it was, compared to the prior month and the prior year, working totals. Obviously, some of this, you know, general usage stuff, we wouldn't have, and we had some different things, like Biblio Plus instead of Canopy. But, and we wouldn't need to go through like all the subs and, you know, upcoming meetings and stuff, because there's so many here. But I was thinking of a simplified version of something like this, and then perhaps instead of, you know, we would need to do like general usage and stuff, we could put a couple of like key things going on, or maybe a story or two from like our patron interactions for the month. And then I can email this to you guys and also have it at the meeting. You know, I might not have it ready much prior, you know, it wouldn't be posted in the documents for Civic Plus, but I could email it and have it at the meeting.
So is this something you could automate so you wouldn't have to? If we're.
I mean,
a little bit.
so Sue's
Sue.
stuff is automated.
Right.
All I have to do is look at Sue's. I mean, I'm sure we could link the Excel boxes here as well.
Just to make it easier.
Yes. Well, so to me, I feel like I don't right now go in and look at the stats. And this would force me to go in and look at the stats, which I mean, not force me in like I don't want to do that. But it's not part of my workflow yet. And so when Sue sends me something like, oh, our circulation was up like 20%, like I want to be able to celebrate that. Or it'd be like, oh, circulation was down, you know, whatever, what are we doing? Or do we need that resource, or what's going, you know, on here? I think it will make me more aware, because I was the keeper of the statistics before, and now I'm not. And so
And you miss it, no?
I do. I like numbers. Yeah, you know, but I have more numbers like budgets and bills and NetSuite. So you know. I was looking at what Anne had sent out. You know, she had sent out a long list, and there were definitely some things that I think are really important. But I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at. And obviously, like if you get too many things, your eyes tend to kind of cross numbers, but what do people want to see? Like if you could see like 5 things, what would you want to see? You know, that would be kind of helpful, and it might not be the same thing for everyone.
So one thing we could add to this is any of our, once we get through our goals, objectives, initiatives, like how we're gonna measure this, then
we could use this.
Use this to have like a line, even like group them by, if we have 6 topics and 6 objectives, or I don't know, however we end up, whatever we end up with, what Ted started, we can have the metrics on this page.
Yeah, or use some of these, like link some, you know, visits, you
Yeah.
know,
What are people using is circulation?
circulation.
Maybe.
Library visits, I think, are really important.
Yeah, because I didn't see New York Times on your list.
Yeah, it's
This one, then we'll email it, so.
yeah, and it's something that we could capture. So I was thinking like circulation, digital resources, use, visits, you know, interlibrary loan, maybe,
New cards.
you know, public computers are really kind of important here.
What did this mean, volunteer hours? What did that mean?
Volunteer hours, it's on here too, number 5.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think it really, I put it as kind of like it's not so important for a
Yeah.
library of this size, because we have so much staff.
Stack.
But it's, you know, the idea of like, we're using so many volunteer hours to shelf books or to process things or whatever, and it's like well, should we hire someone
Yeah,
else if
yeah.
you're,
Right,
you know,
it's in
staffing?
lieu of actual salaried hours.
Yeah,
Right.
and is that
Right.
something that I?
And maybe
Do
not
you-
something here, we do
Yeah.
use volunteers quite a bit, but
Oh.
but they like process books.
Okay, I just wasn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
or they get stuff, they don't shelve
don't
because our
shelve.
shelvers are
Oh, they're-
paid. And you're
Okay.
unionized and we cannot have
Yes.
peers do union.
Okay.
I'm curious about the meeting room reservations as you're looking to the future.
And then podcast studio.
Recording studio, yeah. Yeah.
Because your email captured more, yeah, word to word.
Mhm.
Let's go back and look at that again. Yeah, but and I just said the New York Times, that was the one, and then I didn't see Libby until I then saw Libby.
Yeah.
Under listen up. I think.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
old
The
kind of,
umbrella.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be really interesting for myself to look, to have our digital resources represented in kind of a sheet like this, so. So for me, from Anne's list, this, most of it was like, yes, I agree with, the things that I kind of didn't see maybe as relevant or as important, would be, circulation by user type. That user type is gonna go away with Koha.
Yeah.
Cause we'll be in a consortium, so it'll be consortium borrowing, so that, like, maybe we won't need that.
So does that,
So.
doesn't mean adult
Adult
books,
children?
No, it means
But-
the
but-
community
oh.
patrons, home card patrons,
Oh,
new,
oh,
new,
oh,
you know, by
okay.
category.
I see,
type.
yes. Okay, thank you for.
Yeah, and then like new titles, like you guys can assume we're buying new titles all the time.
Yeah.
Buy a lot of books here. And self-checkout use is also gonna be something that's gonna be changing and kind of going away, because we won't have those self-checkout machines anymore. They're end of life.
Wow.
They envision where the company that will not support them anymore for parts. So we in the FY 27 budget have a CIP, like a one-time money request, which we got to replace those, and we're replacing them with a much more economical option with Koha. The new, it has a self-checkout module that we can use any old computer.
Oh, great, oh, good.
And we're gonna be adding a self-checkout machine in the children's area. Well, as families have bundled their children into their snowsuits and then have to wait, you know, and their like kids are like roasting like baked potatoes in those, you know, it was. How do people think website visits? Is that important to you as trustees?
Not so much.
Well,
Yes
I
and no.
think so. Yeah, I mean, I would say like newsletter, website, all the things that are.
Especially as we're someday going to have a poster that's gonna have QR codes that go to the website. We'd like to see
Okay,
people.
we could see, yeah, I mean, that's something we can track, we track it anyway.
Yeah.
Just for this general meeting, okay, and then, I think tech assistant stats,
Yeah.
that's just like our tech appointments, I don't think we necessarily, they're busy.
So you used to always have reference questions, is that kind of like tech assistants these days, I mean?
We don't actually track, reference, I don't think anyone actually still tracks reference questions, we all kind of like guesstimate it, because it's hard to. Like technically, where is the restroom is not a reference question, but it's like taking time, it's being asked, it's, you know, whatever, directions, or how do I use the computer, how do I use the, like, can I log on, can I have a room, you know, it's really hard to figure out these
Yeah.
days what reference, it's not like, you know, what was the population of San Francisco in 19.
Oh,
Well,
those were the
I know.
Just along the lines of. I know it's like the tracking Libby.
Yes.
That's usage, or maybe, I guess I would like to know, like, what's trending? What are people excited about, you know, in terms of what they're. I see the new books downstairs, I see staff picks, but like, what's the hot book on Libby? Or is that what we would know from?
You would
your
get like
data?
numbers, but if you want
doesn't
stuff
say
like
it.
that, like
But I might be the
we
only one.
can,
who-
we can
there's-
pull out like number, we do that. There's a way to do that. So,
Yeah, okay.
Should new materials be correlated with usage? Like if we track both new books or new, because you have a lot of those new Libby books, right? So like I would hope we would see Libby utilization up. Or like would those would be correlated?
yeah, I mean, you
Or
would,
the wait list.
the wait list is down, I mean, so,
170.
yeah, no, I was just checking today.
The library will be closing 30 minutes at 7 o'clock. As a reminder, the public computer will shut down by 6:45, and no new library cards will be issued after that time. Please drive accordingly, and thank you for visiting the library.
Because like what would be like if we were gonna use the data to make decisions on like what we needed to buy in books, like what would you, how do you know when we did buy the list, I guess?
Well, so I think that's more like a, staff kind of, wheelhouse than the board. But like today I was buying books for Libby and, I go in and I create reports and see how many things are on hold. So like Libby's buying is reactive, not, looking ahead and seeing what the new book people are, it's like, what do people want? It's kind of easy. But we have, so many holds triggers me buying kind of a new, like, we have 8 holds on that by people, like we should have like our own copy, like South Burlington copy. And so there's a lot of reports that we do for that. And then for the physical books, I know that like for adults, it's like if there's 6 folds on it, we get another copy. And Sue runs reports like that all the time, and Mira and just different people. So that's kind of how and then those drive circulation because you have more of them and that people are waiting for them. So that's good.
And I know it's a good problem to have, but I swear I can tell when you're doing Libby, because all of a sudden 3 holds. Are happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Can I read all 3?
Well, you can suspend.
I feel like I do that.
I know it happens to me too.
If you could get the Calamity Club, that'd be great.
That was-
I'm 112 on mine.
I can tell you because I was just looking at this today because I'm training
Sorry.
Mike to take over Libby. We have 11 South Burlington people have that on hold.
Okay.
So it's not
I think I want
100%,
it.
yeah.
Are you doing audiobooks or regular?
Oh, I do anyone I can. I'm not, yeah.
And I'm just finished it.
It's the woman who wrote The Help.
Yeah.
But have we given you enough
Given me.
to go on?
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's great.
Of the numbers.
Okay,
And
good.
each of us seem to want different things too.
Yeah.
I think it's great because I really want to like
Can be
tailor.
there also.
Yes.
I want to tailor to what you guys do.
I love looking at these numbers.
Okay, and I will try and make it like a spreadsheet that doesn't cross your eyes. when You look at it.
I don't know if this looks fun, so
What?
I said, I don't know, this looks fun. It's lovely for you.
Well, depends on your spreadsheet tolerance, I guess. Okay, so I'm done.
So are any questions for?
I kind of have a question, if
Please.
I can do it during communications, but it's actually, so. I'm gonna do it now, it's awesome, this Saturday, the 13th, is also the 5-year anniversary of the wagon, the Great Migration. Because the summer is the 5-year anniversary of the building.
Yes.
And so, I'm gonna guess that's not something that's been high on your priorities.
We're having a birthday party for the library
Birthday party,
in July.
was not in the preview events.
Yes.
No, well, it's not a kids
It's
event.
party.
It's an adult, but Sue and Caitlin are working on a 5-year birthday party. With like party hats and balloons, like the library's turning 5. And some articles and stuff.
was like, oh, years. But of course you.
And we can pick those little pads of paper with your kids' birthday. I have your kids' birthday.
That's why I don't want to promise.
We still have some of those.
Yeah, oh yeah, we've given them away.
Basically, actually it's more foundation. Because I run the
Start the
the video for foundation. If anybody has pictures from the bag and wagon thing, then you could text me or send me in some way. I'm gonna put those on and I'll also tag the library as also.
Maybe contact Sue, because she started collecting some
Okay.
stuff about that, so we have some like scrapbooks that were hanging around. And so we were trying to find like old pictures of like library staff, and then I think we're also going to have library staff at 5 and guess like who they are.
That's cute.
Okay, well, I was gonna do it for this second, for the back month.
Um,
So just if anybody has anything for that, just I only need
Post.
4 or 5 to post on social.
and Sue's not here tomorrow, so
I'm sure people have. There's also there's a video from the WCAX. And Penny's in there and.
Maybe Penny has.
And possibly Stacey is.
Yeah.
So I was gonna repost that video,
Cute.
my kids are also in there. So they're working.
That is fun.
Anyway, so I just wanted to flag that, but you're so excited for our birthday party.
I
Is
think
there a date for that? Is it going to be like the actual?
yes, it's
Date.
like the date, I think that the ribbon cutting,
Yeah,
like,
which is that the 7th?
7th is the ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
Is
That
that
was,
it?
that was definitely, well, I don't know, I just know that was. That's. Being.
And we're cutting for city center.
no, not that
Story-
ribbon cutting,
Oh,
that's the story walk,
Story
no,
walk, yeah.
No, this,
Oh, the anniversary of the ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
let's see. Library birthday, July 25th. July 25th.
I call the finance committee. Is that, are we,
Yes,
just, no, this is great, this is awesome. So finance committee.
Yes, how are you? I am here.
Do you
Um,
have a report?
Just a quick update. Bree and I met quickly, not a quorum meeting, just a work site off place meeting. Just to go over the concepts and start to, flesh out the idea of the 2027-2028 budget. And, so we've got some ideas started, and I think Bree probably is just, I'm speaking for you and I apologize, just using that as the skeleton to, so to speak, flesh out more ideas as we go along. One thing that we talked about, as we've talked about here, is staffing. What is the staffing now as opposed to the staffing in 2 years with the city center growth and city growth. So that's going to be an interesting follow-up as we go along. And, just no surprises. It's early days, but it'll be, again, fleshed out more as we go along. So it's early days, but it's a start.
That's great. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for.
It was nice to do, it was like kind of, I think, really reassuring for both of us to
Yes.
kind of dip our
Very.
toes in the water of the budget. The city itself doesn't start that until at least the fall. And of course, we have a new budgeting software too that we'll be using and implementing. So we had a 2-day training this week on that. But it was actually really cool. So hopefully it'll hopefully it'll
your report.
no, don't. It's fine. But thank you to Brenda for doing that. And I'd love to maybe even have you when you get back. We'll do like
Oh,
another hour.
yeah, no, that,
I think
you-
when we break it up into little chunks, it feels very manageable.
yeah, my deep and abiding love of spreadsheets. It's not normal. It's not rational. And if you let me throw in a pivot chart, oh my God, I might wet myself. I mean, it's just too much. But it's really, one thing that we talk about, it's tough because we're talking about 2027, 2028, and it's hard to project that far into time because there's so many variables right now and, you know, trying to figure out the city and the world and the budget. You know, it's interesting, but it can be a little bit of a challenge.
Thank you. You're doing a good job. Communications. So you're trying to figure out the world also. Communications.
You've got to figure it out.
No, okay, okay.
You all got the email of the tabling this summer, thank you all for signing up, that'll be fun. And the spreadsheet that links to the sign up sheet, does now have staff phone numbers, so in the unlikely event that you become lost on your way and finding our sites, you can send us a message.
It's light blue and it has the library logo on it.
Yeah, so hopefully that will be, but some parts are cluttered, so
Yeah.
you know, if you get lost in a problem, then those are available. We're still hopeful that Andy will one day finish our poster. I'm hoping for the July trustee meeting that we will bring sex posters and family out across the city and put them up. But it's not June. June is not the month when that's happening.
What are the posters on?
It's just, we wanted to have a generic library poster, so that instead of putting up flyers for this and the other, we would just say, here's the thing, it has a QR code, here's the website, and we want to have people go to businesses and say, like, can we permanently post this sign? So, because that's sort of a more more efficient way.
Yeah, he was very ill and out for vacation too, so maybe just check on him, like just say like, hey, this might
Maybe
be,
just like the third circle back, you know?
yeah.
I'll back in.
Well, just because it probably fell off his list.
I think it's the benefit, the instructor experience about, if we're thinking of our strategic plan and how we're gonna manage the lifestyle on there. I think this has been instructive.
It seems uncharacteristically odd. For, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually,
We can start this process in.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I'm up to the month. Okay. And that's our major updates for now.
Excellent. Any questions?
Oh, sorry, one of the price.
Yes, no, good.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
working price stuff, we don't know if pricing. But hopefully by, I mean, I don't have secret knowledge, just I just had it gone online. But like the price center, I don't know. Well, what if we have price?
It's going online, the Pride Center.
Pride Center, going online.
So we will let you know when, but in the meantime, we are going forward as though it's going to happen and making various plans, we might report in July. Okay, now I'm done. For race.
Okay, governance, yay, governance.
And governance does rule the world.
And we will conclude with governance.
So I put together this little part of policies because it seems over the last couple of months, new policies just emerged that we don't know about or that we've heard about. Well, maybe we have a copy and maybe we don't. So if we look through this and you see something that's missing, let us know. But the work of this committee's been great. I mean, really, most things get pretty regularly reviewed. The bylaws is one thing on this list, and I think that we had a question about how do we approach that? Does the governance take the first stab at that, or does that really come to the board? What are thoughts about? Not that about.
I think we took, speaking historically, I think we took a stab in governance committee and then brought it to the group and then still ended up having a subcommittee to finalize some things.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing we wouldn't get to that to the end of the summer. You know,
Well,
Although-
it kind of depends on priorities, like if the bylaws are gonna be an issue now with
the meetings.
yeah.
so we had decided not to meet in July and we need to rethink that.
No, there's.
The open Angela. Yeah, no, I was, that was just you and me, but sometimes.
Yes. So there are two library
Yes, what did you have?
I was just gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
if might, for short term, be able to do an addendum to the bylaws if we have to change for the committee pieces, so that we don't do the whole thing.
Basically, that's helpful.
And our bylaws don't actually get, well, I don't know now, but because you have the memorandum of understanding with the city, but usually municipal library bylaws do not actually have to be filed with the Secretary of State or anything. They're just there as a governing document. So.
So the memorandum of understanding is another one that in the past has the government's taken a charge of that.
That's
or
new.
that really
Just
that's
Here, so hopefully we have estimates or, but.
24, November 24. You know,
Doesn't it seem? I feel like I'm doing that.
so how does that get generated?
So I think, let's talk about it. I think Bree has a good idea, because I can see it on her face, but I think just reviewing it at governance committee and seeing how it looks to decide whether or not it's actually necessary. Might be the best place to start.
Already.
But Bree, what were you going to say?
Clothing.
I'll talk about it at governance.
That's a thought.
Okay.
If you have something up here that you spend on the neck of the top, make their way to the circulation, that.
Oh.
Cause I would like to get these other things like passed in our.
Right,
or-
right, so we have two that are here for your approval, we hope. Patron code of conduct, Bree brought to us an experience in the library where there was an incident and somebody said, well, you have nothing in your policy about saying that you have to do this. So talked about that, and we added comply with staff requests and instructions in library standards. So now it actually says. Yes.
Yeah, do we want that underlined?
Well, I think it's underlined to show what the change is.
Changes,
Oh,
It's
okay.
red line.
that's right,
So no, we don't. need it.
yeah, it won't be.
No, just to show you to throw your
So I don't know if there's
Yeah.
any discussion about this.
I mean, all these great things that you shouldn't do, but not like. We just had someone,
It's okay.
it's a longer story.
The video?
No, this was, someone had a space heater that they wanted to have in the library, which ended up actually, like, we followed a lot of stuff and facilities and this, that, and the other, but, there was, the person said to me, well, I don't need to follow what you say, because it doesn't point to me in the policy where it says I need to follow that, and I'm like, oh, there is no compliance line in here, like, at the, the airport, like, comply with stewardess instructions and that. So Donna said, we need a compliance sentence in here, and that's what we put in here.
I'll take a motion to approve the updated.
Can I giggle when I was?
And a second.
Are we fine with the words? Because we,
I was just gonna say, maybe it doesn't need so many ands. Is that what you're saying? That one line? Is that what we're?
yeah,
The
the
staff
things.
is with both requests and instruction.
Oh, so it's just you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cut out the first and put a
Yes,
comma.
just put a comma.
You still have a motion on the table,
but you can
do it with edits.
So comply with staff requests, comma, instructions and library signage. So why do we need staff again? Comply with staff requests, comma, staff instructions, comma, and library
Can
signage.
you say staff
That's why we,
requests their instructions and. Yeah. Do we even need instructions? I know, that's just my
do we take that requests?
I think we didn't want demands, we
Right.
didn't want, there was we kind of softened it.
Yeah, I think we talked about the word directives and stuff, but instructions was.
How about as well as library signage? Comply with staff
Yeah,
requests and instructions as well as.
First. Staff request and instructor. Okay.
I think you have to comply.
Yeah, just say what the bus line.
But the
Yeah, that's.
Can you add the word all? Is it that comply with all staff requests? I mean, it's a very broad word.
We might want to leave in requests because we might have people who don't feel comfortable
Yeah,
instructing. And so
Okay.
if somebody wants to be pedantic in the way this person did, if somebody says, would you please do this, that's not instruction, that's right. Oh, sorry, that's it. So we gotta keep requests there for those who want to phrase it in a kind of question. I know you understand, not.
So we like the order, if you did comply with library signage and staff requests and instructions.
Yes, and I would add Brenda's put all.
All. So comply with all library signage and staff.
Yeah.
I'm putting all in twice.
I would do for library signage.
Okay.
Comply with library signage and all staff requests and instructions. All those in favor of adopting this policy with those edits. Raise your hand. Anybody else are unanimous? Program. Witnesses.
So the second policy, the program
So
policy,
you send one with like the
we
date.
really went through this one, because it hasn't been updated since 2022. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So. It was helpful to have the final plus the changes so you can really see.
Made
what-
quite a few changes.
Yeah, lots of it was just wording, but some of it substantive. I think two of the items that got lots of discussion were one about charging admission. The original policy said no admission fee. But we realized that there could be some things that were fundraising in nature that might require admission fee.
But is that the library?
No,
So it's outside of the library, so it's not doing anything with city. Okay, yeah, we start a library program.
no. So it says all programs A and B below. So we kind of grouped the programs differently. Will be free and open to the public, though registration may be required. So registration could still be free. I mean, but you need a ticket to manage. Like we have
Like the pigeon.
we have like the pigeon, we have a very big author coming August 1st, that we might want, that we will be ticketing for, but not paid tickets. And then it says events or programs held by the library board of trustees, the library foundation, or the friends of the library may charge admission if the funds raised go to support the library. So if you guys were to have a fundraiser, that's not a library program, that's a you guys program.
But.
Yeah.
So do we, when it says, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we-
no,
we have to talk.
Yes, yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, when it said partner organizations will be responsible for press releases and any other additional publicity, so is that just? They can just send out a press release, there's no is there like a review process or?
No, like they're in charge of their communications.
So that one is, so could you give an example of what B is, the programs offered by partner organizations?
So like we have the YMCA is doing like a listening thing for their strategic planning, and they're using our space, we're letting them use it for free. We're not charging them, but it's not like a library program. So they're in charge of, but we're like supporting them, you know, we'll help them set up and whatever, but they're in charge of like advertising their own program or, the like the legislators
legislators.
meet here. You know, and we give them the space and we help them set up and it's on our calendar, but that's like it. So if they have flyers or they have things that they want to solicit, then they do that to make their program a success.
Okay. And then C is just somebody reserving. a meeting
Yeah.
room.
Like Chipotle uses the space a lot for some reason there for their trainings.
Huh.
And they don't even drink Chipotle. No.
That's right.
Agrees.
Yes.
Is it available?
Yes, yes, always.
The first paragraph, the first sentence.
Yeah.
To offer programs for which blah 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 publicize the program, we've already referred to the program, so we don't need to publicize the program.
Schedule space and publicize via, so take out the words the program on that second line.
To offer programs which this says. And publicity. Via, I feel better.
And provide publicity.
No. It was, yeah, okay, yeah, you
No,
do
no.
schedule space and provide publicity, yeah. Because we run it down for which, so we covered it, but yeah. Schedule
Yeah.
space and provide publicity, and then the last sentence of that same paragraph, I'm not sure what's that.
Any other additional?
Partner program.
Oh, you're right, and meet the programs,
Set what?
selection criteria is what it should be, thank you. So change from selected. I don't want
Programs.
to selection criteria. Sorry, I'm gonna take, I think I'm taking over.
Those are the only things.
Some.
Can I go back to my question?
Yeah, please.
I'm sorry.
No, it's great.
All programs will be free and open. Events or programs held by the library board of trustees, the foundation, or the friends who charge admission. Would we as trustees actually ever charge admission because we don't fundraise or we don't raise money for the library?
As we spun off the foundation, just do not business friends.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, you guys don't have a budget and you don't do any.
No, that's great. So very little people.
Is this the formal approved name of the policy on the staff column? Room rental usage policy and procedures?
No, that's different.
That's different. Okay, I just,
Oh,
there's a reference to it
oh.
here, and I was just thinking, it just says room rental and usage policy. Is that what it's
Oh, yeah.
currently
Yes.
called?
Yeah.
Okay, great. It doesn't also say procedures. Okay.
Okay.
You got it.
Yes, and.
Okay.
Other,
Another,
yeah, no, it's okay.
no, I think the room rental and usage policy is something we'll come back to another day.
Yes. Yeah.
It's available on our website.
So, what was that? Oh my gosh, another motion. There was a second. Do I have a second? And more discussion. In the waning 2 minutes of the meeting.
Policies and procedures. That's it on this.
That is what I.
Yours is a separate.
It will say with items. But you can take policy, is it?
Right.
It looks like it is usage policies and procedures. We don't have all usage. Policies and procedures.
Okay. It is in fact. Okay. So I'm gonna change that. Does that make sense to everybody, changing the,
Yes.
where are we?
So,
It's on the last.
so
one.
the action is not include the library. Policy. Yeah, Mr. Cruz, was that, and that's with
Good.
that, we haven't voted yet.
Right, right.
Sure. You're fixing something else.
I'm fixing something else after, yes.
This,
Name. All those in favor of accepting the library program policy with edits as discussed, raise your hand. Unanimously accepted with everybody's edits, thank you for the little edits in the back. And I think that we are done at 7 p.m. Does anybody have any other business?
no, great job.
And you'll add the date at the bottom.
I will
once
add the
then.
date at the bottom, I will send them all.
Yeah,
Brenda, dip your toes in the water.
Oh, yeah, they've been there. Yeah, it was a gorgeous, it's been a gorgeous week.
Love it. Look at that.